There is only one perfect solution, but there are clues that will try to trick our team.
Hello there, everyone. My name is Crazy Caleb, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the first not module variants that I'm going to be covering in this entire series. This one is going to be focusing on not crazy talk. So, for those of you who are familiar with the earlier version of this, like the earlier modules of this game, you're going to be familiar with the module of crazy talk. Crazy talk itself is a pretty simplistic module, but this kind of takes it into a little bit more of a difficult stance. However, it is not really that difficult. It is not too much of a step up. But the important thing that we must be able to identify is what are the key differences on the module that differentiate not crazy talk from crazy talk. So the first thing that is very important to note is that for crazy talk, the switch will always be in the up position, no matter what. It will always start out in up, regardless of what it is. And for not crazy talk, it will always start in the bottom position. And you'll also notice that the design of the switch actually looks a little bit different compared to normal crazy talk on not crazy talk. So that's the way how you can distinct the module from normal crazy talk. And let's actually go into the premise of what we must be doing here. So text will be shown on the display here. In this case, our display is 1, 3, 2, 4. And these are all in numerals, so make sure you describe the concept of crazy talk. For those of you who are familiar with crazy talk, most of the stuff, the phrases that are given here are similar, if not the exact same, to crazy talk. Just different meanings to it. So what we must do is we must determine which characters in the text are valid and count the total number of valid characters based off of these rules down here. And note that more than one of these can apply. So let's take a look here. So we must go through each conditions, and it will tell us a set of valid characters that we must count. And when we figure that out, we're going to flip the switch up when the last digit of the bomb's seconds timer is the last digit of that total. So let's take a look. So 2 or more D batteries. No, there's only 1 D battery. 2 or more unlit indicators. No. 2 or more lit indicators. That is true. So the valid characters for this case will be present on the label of any lit indicator present. So if we have a Sierra India Golf, those will count. And if we have a Bravo, Oscar, and Bravo, in this case, those characters are valid. However, looking at the display, we have none of those so far. So let's continue on. So empty port plate present is not true. Moving on to the next rule. Plate with more than 3 ports present. 3 or more ports present. We only have a port plate with a parallel and serial. That is the max that these two can have together, so that is already not true. 6 or more distinct port types. Nope, we only have those 2 ports. 9 or more total ports. Nope. And none of the above condition is met. Otherwise, no. That will not be the case. That will not be the case. Because we already have one of the rules that do apply. So in this case, since we figured out that there were no valid characters in the display, we're going to flip the last digit when it is a 0. Let's flip it on a 0. And now the module enters into the second phase. What it's going to be doing now is it's going to be cycling through 4 different displays here. And what we must do is determine the value of each of the texts, each of the 4 texts, which will have a value of from 1 to 9, which we must sum up to find the value of n. So now it's important, and you might be wondering why I wrote down the display from the previous stage, is because of this purpose. So first things first is let's figure out what each of the display's values are. So we have dot stop, which in this case is going to be a 6. We have dot period, which is a 5 in this case. Next up we have period. Period in this case is going to be a 3. And for the love of all that is good and holy, please full stop. 1. So now that we have our 4 displays in the text, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding them all up to get the sum of which the value is n. So let's pop out our handy-dandy calculator. So 6 plus 5 plus 3 plus 1, in this case, gets us 15. Now we're not going to modulo 10 this or anything, it's simply just going to be 15. Now, what exactly do we do with this number? So the target character is the nth alphanumeric character in the text originally shown when the switch was down. This is why I kept the display, is because we must be, what we're going to do is we're going to start from the first character being 1 in this case, and what we're going to do is we're going to count the amount of characters that we have here. There will be no spaces in between these, and what this is going to be is 15 times. We're going to be counting each of these characters, and whichever one we land on for the last for number 15 is what we're going to be submitting in Morse code regarding the switch. So for those of you who are familiar with Simon Says, this is going to be pretty much a piece of cake for you guys. So, and then when it says alphanumeric character, numbers are included as well. So letters and numbers. So it does not care. So let's start here. So 1 will be our first character. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we happen to go over the text, we'll simply just wrap around to the right at the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So the last character that we land on in this case is a 2. And now what we're going to do is we're going to simply submit 2 in Morse code. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Morse code, thankfully there is a key down here at the bottom in Morse code. So in this case, A2 is going to be ... dash dash dash. So now, how exactly do we submit the dots and the dashes? Well, releasing the switch within the same tick of the bomb's timer, which it was held in, will add a dot to the entry. So it will simply just be a tap in this case. And releasing a switch after holding it across at least one tick, similar to sphere in this case, will add a dash. So, and the entry will automatically be submitted if the switch is released for 2 real-time seconds. So, let's submit this. So we're going to be doing tap, tap, and then hold, hold, hold in this case. So let's do this. So tap, tap, and then hold, hold, hold. Give it a couple seconds to submit.
Is the right answer.
And just like that is a solved module. So let's take a look at another example. Now that we know that the key differences of how this module works and how it looks from Crazy Talk compared to it, let's take a look at some other examples. This module itself is not that bad. It just, sometimes reading the displays can be a little bit tricky, especially with how fast the cycling is. So let's do 2 more examples in this case.
There is only one perfect solution, but there are clues that will try to trick our team.
Alright, so now with this character, let's take a look at the edgework conditions again. 2 or more D batteries, no, those are not present. 2 or more unlit, we only have one lit. That is not going to be true for the second rule. Empty port plate present, nope. Plate with 3 or more ports present, nope. There's only 2 per port plate. 6 or more distinct port types, nope. And 9 or more total port plates. No, those are not true either. In this case, none of the above condition is met, no above condition is met, and what the valid characters will be in this case will be present in the serial number. So our serial number in this case is going to be Golf Quebec 9 Papa India 7. So let's take a look at this first one. So let's copy down the entire display. So one word, then punctuation, period, stop, stop. So this is our display currently right now. We'll save that for later. And I don't believe that you actually can submit the periods. So if we see those present, we're simply just going to get rid of them for the second stage. So let's take a look. So looking for characters that are present in the serial number, let's see what we have here. Do we have any Gulfs present? No. Do we have any Quebecs? I doubt it because nope, it doesn't look like it. Do we have any Papas? Yes, we have punctuation. So that we have that Papa here, and then we also have stop and then stop. So in this case, we already have 3 present. For India, let's take a look. Punctuation, yep, that's another one, so 4. And any 7s or 9s. There's no numbers in this present at all, so we have 4 valid characters in this display. So we're going to flip it when the last digit is a 4. And just like that, it worked. And let's take a look at the displays. So there was one that was left. This is going to take a while to find. Never mind. So that display is a 3. For the love of all that is good and holy, please full stop. That's a 1, similar to what we had last time. An actual left arrow literal phrase. That is also a 1. And 1, 3, 2, with 2 O's, 4. Yep, and that will be a 9. So let's sum these guys up. So 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 will get us 14. So now we're going to take a look at the 14th character in this case, ignoring all the spaces. So let's combine these together, and I think that by now they'll definitely be 14. So let's take a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the 14th character in this case is a November. So we're going to be submitting November on the Morse code here. So November, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, is pretty simple. It is a dash and a dot. So let's do that. So as you remember, a dash is holding it down for 1 tick over the timer, and a dot is simply just tapping it when it's in between the timer. So. And just like that is a solved module. So we're going to use the same rule for the next one, because the edge work does not change, and it doesn't change our conditions that we're working with here. So this one's actually a bit of a long one too, so left arrow, symbol, twice, then the words, go down to the next line, right, left, right, then a right arrow symbol. Okay, so any gulfs? 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 gulfs in there. Any Quebecs? Nope, doesn't look like it. Any 9s? We have no numbers in this display at all, so 9 and 7 are ignored. Papas? None of them. And Indias. I imagine we'll have quite a few of these in here. 1. We have 1 from twice. 1, 2, 3. So 3 more, so that's going to be 7. So yeah, so we had 1, 2, 3 golf, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 Indias. So our last digit will be flipping the switch up is on a 7. No comma, literally nothing. That's a 2. Stop dot period. That's another one. That's going to be a 5. Left, left, right, and then left arrow symbol. Left, left, right, and then left arrow symbol, right. Yeah, that's it. 7. And then the last one, disregard what I just said. 4 words, no punctuation. Be this one. 1, 3, 2, 4. Yep. And that last one is a 2. Let's sum these guys up. 2 plus 5 plus 7 plus 2 is 16 in this case. So 16 letters is what we're going to be counting. So, and actually, if we just leave these spaces open, we can actually count the number of words in each, the number of letters in each word, rather. So this can be 4. Next up is going to be 5, so we're at 9. And then 9 plus 6 is 15. So we're going to be submitting a tango in this case, because we count all of this up here. We are selecting the 16th column as we say it down here, so this is a tango. So for those of you who aren't familiar with tango, tango is a dash in this case. So we're going to simply hold it over one timer tick, give it a couple seconds to submit,
Is the right answer.
and just like that is a solved module. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.